everybody. Are you guys ready to have a fun time? What's up everybody, I am that YouTube guy, and before anything is said, I know I said I would try to get a video out once a week and that did not work. Shut up. Today I'm doing my top 10 list of scariest creepypastas. Now if you do not know what a creepypasta is, it's too bad for you. A creepypasta is some form of creepy urban legend, scary story, normally originated on the internet, and it normally revolves around TV shows or video games or just creepy stories to you creepy shit out of you. Before I get started, of course everybody's gonna have their own favorite creepypasta, and if yours is not included, I am sorry. But these 10 creepypastas for me are the ones I personally think are the ones that are the scariest out of all the ones I've heard up to date. So, in no particular order, let's get started. Number 1 is Mother's Cool. Now basically this is one of the shortest creepypastas, and all it entails is a little child is playing in their room one day, and then the mother calls them from the kitchen. As a good little child, they get up and make their way to the kitchen. And as they get to the bottom of the stairs, the cupboard door underneath the stair opens. A hand reaches out, grabs the child, and pulls him into the cupboard. It's the child's mother. The mother says to the child, "Don't go into the kitchen. I heard it too." That's just a nice little thing to think about next time you're being called by your parents. Ross, can you come in here quickly, please? Number 2 is titled Where Bad Kids Go. This story follows a photographer that wants to find out more about a TV show he used to watch when he was a kid during the war. Now this show used scare tactics to stop children from misbehaving. However, there's one thing that he would remember about every single episode, which is at the end, a camera would zoom into an old rusted door, and there would be terrible screams and noises heard coming from the inside of the door. And when the screaming could no longer get any worse, the text in Arabic would come up on the screen. That's where bad kids go. Going to the present day, the photographer managed to track down the studio where this was recorded, and he found the old rusted door. When he entered, he was horrified at what he found, because when he went inside, he found this room was covered in blood, feces, and children's bones, and then there, in the middle of the room, hung a caged microphone. Spooky! Number 3 is the Russian sleep experiment. Now this experiment was conducted on 5 Russian political prisoners, and they wanted to test the effects on humans without sleeping for long periods of time. These 5 prisoners were placed into a thick, sealed chamber in which a gas would be pumped into the room, keeping them awake, but not enough to kill them. The chamber contained everything they would need to live sustainably for over a month. For the first 5 days, nothing happened and everything was normal. Then after day 5, weird things started to happen. These weird things included one of the prisoners screaming so loud and for so long until he tore his vocal cords. Other prisoners could be heard muttering or whispering to themselves in a creepy-like manner. After some more days, the screaming and the whispering went utterly quiet and there was nothing. The researchers wanted to test if the microphones were working. To try and get a reaction out of them, they said on the intercom into the chamber that they were going to open the doors and let them out. They must slide down, and if they move they will be shot. To their surprise, they heard on the microphones from the inside, "We don't want to be freed." Conditions in the chamber eventually got much worse. Some of the test subjects died and were eaten by the other test subjects instead of the food that was provided for them in the first place. They could no longer be recognized as human beings as their features were so drastically changed. Eventually, they were taken to hospital for their injuries that they had been inflicted on themselves. And eventually, when all hell broke loose in the hospital, one of the researchers asked one of the patients, "What are you?" The test subject smiled and replied with, "Have you forgotten so easily? We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be set free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread." The researcher paused and then killed the last test subject. Well, that seems like a fun science experiment to do at school. Number 4 is The Expressionist, and now this is actually one of my favorite creepypastas. In June 1972, a woman walked into a hospital in a blood-covered gown. Now the first thing that made this weird was that she wasn't exactly human. Her features resembled more that of a mannequin. She was completely expressionless and her face looked like it was made of plastic. The second thing that was strange was that there was a kitten clamped within her jaws, clamped so tightly that no teeth could be seen. Blood was still trickling out onto her dress. From the moment she walked into the hospital, she was taken straight into the operating room to be operated on. She remained calm and complied with ease. But eventually, when staff tried to sedate her, she broke out and fought with incredible strength, and the doctors could not constrain her. She opened her mouth wide, and the doctors were shocked as what they saw were not teeth, but long sharp spikes, that if she closed her mouth, great damage would be caused. Eventually, she managed to get out of her restraints and attacked all the hospital staff, killing most of them. The head doctor eventually screamed at her, "What are you?" She leaned down to the doctor and said, "I am God." and then walked out. No person has ever seen her again, and there's been no records of her ever coming up again. So just think when you're sitting in the hospital next time. Number 5, I'm going to be speaking about lost episodes. Now there are thousands of creepypastas revolving around lost episodes. One of the best ones I think is Suicide Mouse. It's an old Walt Disney clip of Mickey Mouse. He is walking in a distorted village and his head is down as if he looks depressed. He's walking and then the clip goes black. And everybody thought that was the end of the clip. Eventually after the blackness, the picture comes back. He's walking along this distorted city again. There's no quite clear picture of what can be seen. Eventually a slight scream starts. As Mickey carries on walking, the scream gets louder and louder until it turns into a blood-curdling scream. And eventually it goes black. Then with Mickey Mouse's face comes up on the end. Walt Disney do not know how this tape came to be and they do not know what it is. So those of you that like the Disney Channel, childhood ruined. Number 6 is called Humans Can Lick Too. Now I'm sure you've all heard this scary story. I heard this when I was a little kid and to be honest, it scared the crap out of me. So basically a little girl goes to bed and every night she puts her hand down next to her bed so her dog under the bed can lick her hand and she feels safe and then she can fall asleep. So one night she does this, her hand is licked so she feels safe and she falls asleep. Until she is awakened by a dripping noise. She gets up and searches everywhere for the dripping noise. She cannot find it, so lies down and tries to go back to sleep. Even though her hand is licked, she does not feel calm enough and decides to go and look again. Eventually, she goes into the bathroom and hears the dripping noise. The curtain to the shower is closed. She opens the curtain to see her dog hanging there dead, with blood dripping from the dog into the bath. She turns around and on the mirror it says they're written in blood, humans can lick too. My bed has a gap underneath it. Yep, don't think I'm going to be putting my hand down there anytime soon. Number 7 is called The Statue. Now, this has been heard so many times. I didn't want to actually put this in here, but then I realized it is still really scary. Basically, a girl is babysitting 2 children while their parents are out. These children have an obsession with clowns. They have clown dolls everywhere. The most scariest doll is a tall, lifelike clown statue in the parents' bedroom. The parents call the babysitter to see how things are going. The babysitter says everything is fine and that the children are asleep, but then she complains about the lifelike clown statue in the parents' bedroom. The parents' response is, "We don't have a lifelike clown statue in our bedroom." The parents scream at the babysitter to get out and run and put the phone down. The parents rush back home, but when they get back home it's already too late, and the babysitter and both children have been murdered, and the clown statue was gone. I wanted to be a babysitter. Not so much, eh? Number 8 is Jeff the Killer. I'm sure you've all heard this one, but basically Jeff is a boy who moves into a small town with his parents and unfortunately has a run-in with some neighborhood boys at the bus stop. These boys try to bully him and his brother, and he protects himself and his brother by beating up these boys, leaving them with bad physical wounds and life wounds. At this moment that Jeff discovered he had a knack and he enjoyed inflicting pain on others. Till one day his mother found him in the bathroom crying, carving a permanent smile into his cheeks and cutting off his eyelids so he could always avoid sleep. His mother asked what he was doing, just told her to shh and go to sleep, and then continued to murder his mother and the rest of his family. Jeff the Killer is still out of the city and he has not been found. This is why we don't live in America, people. Number 9 is 1999. So it's 91999. Did not plan that. So basically this is about a child who used to watch this really messed up TV channel as a small kid, and used to involve just normal childhood shows like, educational lessons and things like that. But every now and then there would be a creepy episode. For example, there was one with live action's hands, and the episode title was called Playing with Scissors or something in that manner. And this TV show showed just only hands, one with a pair of scissors stabbing another hand. But the TV shows got worse, and there was another one called something along the lines of Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear would have children come visit him in his basement. Mr. Bear would continue to do even more sadistic things with these children. Nothing too bad was shown on film. It was just the creepiness of the TV show that you knew exactly what was happening there. He tried to lure even more kids to come to his basement to come play with him. Eventually it was found that all the children that had played with him were found in a mass grave in the woods not too far from this man's house. The police conducted various investigations on this man on these TV shows, and unfortunately the man behind all this was never found. So if you see a man in a bear suit, run away! And lastly, number 10 is called Smile.jpg or Smile Dog. Now this includes a creepy picture of a dog smiling, but with human teeth. It is meant to inflict mental damage on whoever sees this picture. Basically, this picture is meant to haunt people so much that they have nightmares and they start going crazy and they start going insane. They start screaming and they cannot get out of this insanity that they are in. In these bad dreams, the Smile Dog is supposedly meant to come up to them and to tell them to spread the word. Spreading this onto other people is meant to be the only way out of the sadistic mindset. It's still incredibly scary to think that there is actually a picture out there that can do this to people and make them go into such states of insanity that could even cause them to kill themselves. So guys, that was my list of top 10 creepypastas. Sorry if it was kind of jittery and detail was not much there, but I'm only doing this in one day and I did not have enough time to rehearse this that many times. Also no, if I left out your favorite creepypasta, again, I am sorry. And please comment below because I'm always loving to read more of these things, and they're creepy, they scare me, but that's what's awesome, I like that. So I do hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button up there, because if you don't, Jeff the Killer will come after you. So guys, as always, have fun, be cool, try to sleep tonight, and I will check you later.
What will you miss the most that exists after your death?
The thing I'll probably miss the most after I'm dead is probably the people I care about. Ha! Good! Hoax!